trying to be optimistic. If I called it like it was, I wouldn't say too overly. I just would stay.
Should I go get some eye drops?
Please be seated. Members of the Board of Trustees, Suffield faculty, Dave Rockwell, families and friends and members of the class of 2018, welcome to the 185th commencement of Suffield Academy. We are here today to celebrate the accomplishments of a spirited and talented senior class. These young women and men have come from all parts of the world to study and prepare for the future. As we now reach the final stage of their journey, I can tell you this is a class distinguished by leadership, spirit, and a deep sense of pride in Suffield Academy. These seniors have had a strong impact on our school and on each other. They've done a great job helping lead Suffield and are well prepared for the next steps in their lives. Before we begin today's ceremony, let me turn to Reverend Thomas Carr for our invocation. Tom.
Let us pray. O God, you are the one who calls each one of us by name and calls us beloved. As we gather here today in this special time, as each one hears his or her own name being spoken aloud to receive diplomas and acknowledgement of accomplishments, may all of us hear your voice calling to receive a word of blessing and purpose and direction in life. We've gathered here to celebrate and to bear witness to an ending of a chapter in these young people's lives. And we pray that they may move from this day and this place in order to create beauty and goodness and truth in all the places they may find themselves. Empower them with the courage that they will need as they move forward wherever they go to live as people of truth, compassion, and integrity. We thank you for this community, for faculty, administrators, staff, for family and friends, for all of those who have walked with these people through the years to this point in their lives to help shape and guide them. And for your spirit, for your loving presence, known and unknown, recognized or not, we are grateful. And so with family and friends, and all of those who have gathered to encourage and support these graduates, we welcome your presence, Creator God, for you are the one who has anticipated this moment from the beginning of time. Amen.
I understand we had a few skeptics about our ability to deliver this lawn and this building to you today, but here we are on a great day, last Friday in May. What a beautiful setting. In a few moments, we will have the opportunity to hear from Dave Rockwell, an inspirational educator who has been on Suffield's faculty for 54 years. Rocky will retire next month and head with his wife Bonnie to their home in Cushing, Maine. We will also hear from Elias Smith, selected by his classmates to speak on behalf of the class of 2018. Before we proceed with the ceremony, I ask today's graduates to again reflect on the wonderful opportunity your parents have given you of attending Suffield. They have sacrificed to make this day possible. They have shared in the joys of your successes and consoled you in times of disappointment. I know they are very proud of you as you graduate today. Please rise and give a quick wave to your families. Let us now turn to our ceremony. We will begin with some awards for members of the class of 2018. Fred Powers, Suffield Academy alumnus, past parent, and president of the Board of Trustees, will help me award this year's prizes. Fred. The Emmett Kent English Prize is given to students who demonstrate the best written work in the course of the senior year. It is shared this year by 2 students. They show natural fluency and sophistication in their writing and consistently articulate insights in clear and fluid prose. The Ken English Prize goes to Devin Loftus and Sarah Swanson. Smile, Devin. Come on, buddy. The Edward Manning Gallup English Prize honors the student who maintains the highest sustained average in English over the course of studies. This year's winner is passionate about writing and exhibits genuine and deep engagement with literature. The Gallup Prize goes to Divina Bala. The Kenneth Lindfors History Prize is named in honor of Ken Lindfors, a longtime history teacher and Suffield's headmaster from 1987 to 1996. The Lindfors Prize recognizes sincere interest in history and consistent honors level work through preparation, insight, and thoroughness. It goes this year to a talented history student and excellent writer. The winner is Colin Parrow. The Senior Science Award honors the top science student in our graduating class. This year's winner also earned the C.W. Austin Prize in Chinese, recognizing excellence in our Chinese classes. With honorable mention to Zach Kidd and Peyton Can for the Chinese Prize, the Senior Science Award and Austin Chinese Prize go to Max Schlafstein. The Class of 1874 Mathematics Prize is given to the outstanding mathematicians in the graduating class. 3 members of this year's class have taken Suffield's highest levels of math and thoroughly excelled in these courses. 2 of these students are also earning academic prizes in other disciplines. Devin Loftus is the winner of the Ralph Hansen Economics Prize, honoring the best economics student based on the mastery of economic principles. He has shown genuine interest in thoroughly grasping all topics of this discipline and going beyond accumulation of knowledge to see how the social science of economics develops and evolves. We also want to recognize Millen Ghosh for honorable mention in economics and a symbol of his great work. In addition to the Math Prize, Bridget Carey is co-winner of the Austin French Prize along with Kate Rookie. Kate and Bridget are dedicated, accomplished French scholars. Honorable mention in French goes to Aidan Sagar. The Class of 1874 Math Prize goes to Cal Kitichoku, Bridget Carey, and Devin Loftus. The Hansen Economics Prize goes to Devin Loftus. And the Austin French Prize goes to Kate Rookie and Bridget Carey. Please all come down. This year's winner of the Computer Science Prize has taken computer science during all 4 of his years at Suffield, covering a wide range of topics. Additionally, his work for the tech department during the school year and over the summer helped improve the infrastructure of the school as a whole. For his devotion to computer science and technology, this year's recipient is Joe Eunice. final Austin Prize goes this year for Spanish study, and the winner has thoroughly excelled in this area and in all academic areas. With honorable mention to Juhi Rayonia, the Austin Spanish Prize goes to Caroline Gingold. The Francoise L. Waskowitz Award is given in memory of one of Suffield's great teachers. It is an endowed travel grant awarded to a student who, after 2 years of French to the third level or beyond, has demonstrated outstanding effort, love of the French language and culture, and intellectual curiosity. This year's recipient shows dedication and genuine spirit in all of her endeavors. The Waskowitz Award goes to Carlin Molander. The Robinson Environmental Award was endowed by Jack Robinson, Suffield class of 1960, and is given to students with a passion for the environment. Jack is with us today and will present the award. Jack. This year's recipients have been inspired by our environmental science courses and our solo program, and have both shown keen interest in pursuing study of the environment during their college years and beyond. The Robinson Environmental Award goes to Sedley Bennetts and Peyton Can. Thank you. The arts are an important part of life at Suffield. We're proud of our vibrant arts programs and the many accomplished artists on our campus. The arts elevate the quality of life here, and today we honor several students who have made profound contributions. The Janice H. Severns Art Prize is given this year to 3 students who have shown exceptional skill and dedication to the visual arts. Their creative skill and high level of output set a wonderful standard for artists at Suffield. They brought inspiration and talent to our studios and our school. The Severns Prize goes to Amber McKenzie and Tori Tryon for fine arts, and to Colin Parrow for ceramics. The Hinsdale Smith Photography Prize honors notable accomplishments in photography. The Smith Prize goes this year to a young woman who's shown sustained commitment to this medium and is passionate about capturing images. The Photo Prize goes to Juhi Rayonia. The Alan H. Fuller Prize in the Performing Arts is awarded to students making performing arts a major part of their lives at Suffield and enriching our community with their love of the theater. It is shared this year by 4 students. 3 excelled as performers on stage and in several performing arts courses. The 4th has been an outstanding stage manager and leader of our productions. The Fuller Prize is awarded to Ariana Saxton, Max Wiener, Meg Durhager, and Brianna Gibbs. The Bradford C. Gooch Music Award carries the name of a master teacher and musician, now retired. The Gooch Award recognizes superior musical talent and dedication. This year's winners have made significant contributions to many different campus groups and in various musical forms. They are Carlos Salguero and Matt Morito. This week's Kent Davis speaking competition carried forth a long-standing and valued tradition at Suffield. There were 12 students involved this year. The winner of the Charles G. Davis Oratory Prize beautifully delivered Rebecca Field's open letter, "Would I Die for My Students?" And the winners of the Emmett Kent Public Speaking Prize spoke about strong family bonds and hurdles faced by women in athletics. With honorable mention to Aubrey Sanford, the Davis Oratory Prize goes to Dana Mills, and the Kent Public Speaking Prize goes to Max Wiener and Davina Bala. The Salon Goldstein Class of 1916 Award were established by Jerry Goldstein in memory of his father. The awards recognize two members of the graduating class who have displayed noteworthy commitment to Suffield's leadership program and sustained leadership in our community. In addition to the prizes they are receiving today, these students will have an opportunity to direct endowed funds toward an area of life at Suffield they feel can be enhanced. The recipients of the Solon Goldstein Leadership Awards have been leadership program teaching assistants and shown modest, thoughtful leadership in our community. They are Carlin Molander and Chase Moran. The Henry Thevenin Prize was endowed through generous gifts in memory of Henry's remarkable spirit and zest for life, and to honor a postgraduate who exudes sincere enthusiasm and affection for Suffield and commitment to all aspects of community life. This year's winner has fully taken advantage of this important year in his life. The Thevenin Prize goes to Connor Ahrens. The Class of 1999 Unsung Hero Award for Athletics was endowed in memory of Christopher Knight. Chris embodied the word unsung. He was a low-key young man and very reluctant to seek the spotlight. His classmates created this award to recognize Suffield student athletes who showed commitment, perseverance, and great pride in the school. Jim Knight, Chris's father, and a 1973 graduate will join me in presenting the prize. Jimmy. This year's winners displayed commitment, skill, modesty, and enthusiasm that significantly impacted Suffield athletics. The award goes to Isabella Boonstra, Justin Levski, and Jen Ungerleiter. close friends of the Regan family endowed the Parker Regan Prize in 2013 in memory of Parker. It is given to a graduating senior who has shown sustained transformative growth intellectually, emotionally, and personally during their years as a Suffield student. It is intended to honor Suffield's emphasis on distance travel. This year's recipients joined us as ninth graders and have made steady progress both academically and personally that has been impressive to watch. The Parker Regan Prize goes to Ava Hafner and Milo Marcus. Can somebody get her another shoe, please? The next award honors the career and model of George Previer. George gave 35 years of dedicated service to Suffield. He personified high standards and relentless effort, always accomplished in a modest and humble way. The award recognizes students who, in an unsung way, contribute significantly to campus life. This year, the Previer Award goes to two students who have shown dedication to our school and their peers. They have made important contributions to our community that can sometimes go unnoticed. Both have been quiet leaders behind the scenes and exhibited deep loyalty to Suffield. The Previer Award goes to Peyton Can and Sasha Derby. The Jonathan Kaufman Headmaster's Prize honors special attainments not otherwise recognized in these proceedings. This year they are awarded to two students whose spirit and affection for Suffield have enhanced our community. They have proudly represented the school and embraced the aspects that make Suffield special. They have been excellent citizens and representatives of our student body. We are pleased to recognize Kaylee Horrigan and India Shea. The next series of prizes honor overall excellence and thorough contributions to the school. The first award, the Class of 1947 Extra Class Achievement Prize, recognizes a student who has been a consistent contributor to the Suffield community with particular attention to life outside of the classroom. The prize goes this year to a young man who has invested himself fully in community life and been a particularly dedicated leader of our student council. The Extra Class Achievement Prize goes to Mike Robidoux. The George A. Butler Cup for Athletics is awarded to the most deserving athletes in the senior class. Our recipients must have distinguished themselves through their commitment and excellence on the field and through their leadership. The Butler Cup for Girls goes this year to a young woman who has excelled in our field hockey, basketball, and track programs. She's a graceful, determined, outstanding athlete. The Butler Cup for Girls goes to Bailey Highland. The Butler Cup for Boys goes to a young man who's one of the elite swimmers in the country and has also used his athleticism and determination to shine as a water polo player and a rower in our crew program. He is a terrific athlete. The Butler Cup for Boys goes to Max Miranda. The next award is endowed in honor of Gordy Glover, a member of the Suffield faculty for 44 years. The Gordon G. Glover Award honors the top scholar in the senior class. Scholarship should be understood as rigorous inquiry and demonstrated curiosity matched by impeccable work habits. The main emphasis is placed on the willingness to wrestle with ideas and take intellectual risk in all disciplines. It goes this year to a young man who, as you have already seen today, excels in a great variety of disciplines. He has elevated academic life at Suffield. The Glover Award goes to Devin Loftus. The Meade Alcorn Junior Award for Scholarship in Athletics goes this year to two young women who have thrived in our academic program and in athletics. They have been honors students and great leaders, Susanna in volleyball, basketball, and softball, and Bridget in soccer, basketball, and lacrosse. The Meade Alcorn Prize goes to Susanna Johnson and Bridget Carey. The Courtney Robinson Spirit Cup is given in memory of Courtney Robinson, class of 1988. Courtney brought intense effort and great spirit to everything she touched. The prize is given annually to a student who's demonstrated outstanding commitment to team sports at Suffield. It honors team play and positive spirit. I will ask my wife, Hillary Cann, who was a classmate, teammate, and very close friend of Courtney, to help make the presentation of the Robinson Spirit Cup. This year, the award goes to two students whose spirit, skill, and support of their teammates have greatly enhanced our school and our athletic programs. They have proudly and modestly represented Suffield. The Robinson Spirit Cup goes to Ben Bonavita and Kevin Kosmeski. All right, we're on the home stretch here. The William Bradford Bates Scholarship and Activities Prize goes this year to two students who have made profoundly broad contributions from athletics to the arts, academics, and community life. For good reason, they are widely admired by their peers and our faculty. Isabella Atines and Devina Bala are this year's Bates Prize recipients. The Appleton H. Severns Award is given in honor of Suffield's 19th headmaster, a legendary figure in our history. It is awarded to the senior who best shows a sense of pride and loyalty to Suffield, spiced by a keen sense of humor. This year's recipient has shown sincere enthusiasm for all aspects of school life. She has consistently displayed kindness, loyalty, and thoughtfulness. The App Severns Award goes to Aubrey Sanford. Before we hand out our highest awards at this commencement, the Suffield Diplomas, we have one final student prize and two faculty prizes this year. The Faculty Award for Citizenship and Service to Suffield is given to a student who displays excellent citizenship and consistently strong effort. This year's winner has shown diverse talents and does an incredible amount behind the scenes and without concern for getting credit. She is a true leader and has always been a reliable presence in our school community. The Faculty Award goes to Sarah Swanson. Now I want to turn to two faculty awards. The Richter Teaching Award is named for one of Suffield's great citizens, Donald Richter, who was a longtime trustee and president of the board. The Richter Award honors excellence in teaching, the power to communicate and influence, mastery of subject matter, and creativity in involving students in their learning. I will ask Sarah Yeager, Academic Dean, to join me in making the presentation. This year's recipient invests herself deeply in the craft of teaching. She has shown immense dedication to intellectual life, to professional growth and development, and to the success of her students. We will be sad to see her move on from Suffield at the end of the academic year, but are grateful for her excellent contributions to our science department and academic program over the past 11 years. The Richter Award goes to Amy Beccaro. She's truly shocked. She shouldn't be. The Elijah Benjamin Andrews Award is named in honor of a former Suffield headmaster who went on to become a distinguished president of Brown University. The Andrews Award recognizes a faculty member who has made a unique contribution to student development, both in the classroom and outside, especially outside the classroom. It goes this year to someone who has filled an exceptional number of roles at Suffield as a teacher, coach, dorm head, college counselor, admission officer, assistant head, and dean of faculty. Despite the prominence of his roles, Barry was always eager to stay behind the scenes, and his pride in his work has been a hallmark of his career. He has really inspired many former students and taught them important lessons about self-discipline and hard work. The Andrews Award goes to Barry Cleary. Congratulations to all of this year's prize recipients. Now, please stand and join us in singing America the Beautiful. That's a nice breeze, just in time. It is now my privilege to introduce this year's commencement speaker, David J. Rockwell. Rocky has had an incredible career as an educator. He has been part of the Suffield Academy faculty for 54 years. Rocky went to Suffield and graduated in 1958. 4 years later, Headmaster App Severance hired him to return with his wife Bonnie and their 2 young children, Jennifer and Jeffrey. As the world and our school changed, the Rockwells provided an anchor for thousands of students, from residents of Bissell Dorm to those Rocky taught, coached, advised, or led on trips up north or out west. Rocky has always been focused closely on student development, on creating a comfortable classroom environment where students feel safe taking intellectual risks. Rocky's 4 children went to Suffield: Jennifer, Jeffrey, Jed, and Hillary. I know Rocky particularly well. He is my father-in-law and grandfather of Peyton Can, one of today's graduates. I also know we will enjoy hearing Rocky's words. His years of dedication to our school set a mark that will likely never be surpassed. Through periods of historical, political, and cultural change, from recessions to building booms, Rocky has had the fascinating opportunity of seeing the world's evolution through the lens of Suffield Academy. Please join me in welcoming Dave Rockwell as this year's commencement speaker.
All right, calm down. Thanks, Charlie. Actually, that's all I have to say. It's pretty hard to follow that up. This actually seems like my last class, so pay attention and take notes. Actually, the binder here contains the class notes right here. This is it. Not to scare you, but it's 43 pages long. But I will tell you that it's 36-point font and triple spaced, so I can see what I'm doing here. All right, let's get started. To the Board of Trustees, Headmaster Can, faculty, family, friends, and of course the class of 2018, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak to this 185th commencement of Suffield Academy. When Charlie asked me if I would like to give this year's commencement address, a wave of emotion swept over me, and I said to myself that if this talk would be my parting shot of my legacy, that it better be good. Well, I'll let you all be the judge of that. Mixed in with all of this is the realization that my time at Suffield was nearing an end. That was in November 17th. Here we are on May 25th, and it's not going to be any easier. You'll have to excuse me if I find this a little bit difficult, but I'm going to try to maintain my composure. Difficult, yes, but also a tremendous honor. Actually, before Charlie asked if I would be willing to give today's address, he asked my granddaughter Peyton if it would be okay. Her response was, that would be good because it will be short. That's what Rocky is like on the phone. With that in mind, I will try to stay in one of my themes today, and that's called balance, all right? I'll bet that when you thought about who might be your commencement speaker, your ideas ran the gamut from TV stars, NFL coaches, successful people from the business world, and so on. So what did you get? You got an old teacher. I do, however, have an advantage over all the other possibly more glamorous options. I have been with all of you throughout your entire journey here, every step of the way. To you, the class of 2018, I offer you a bit of nostalgia, a bit of advice, a bit of humor, and a bit of hope. Over the course of the year, I've listened to a wide range of wonderful senior chapel talks, and I must say enjoyed all of them. So what you will get from me is, in a sense, my senior talk. We often talk about life paths and how we envision them being straight lines to some ideal place. But in reality, they're almost always irregular, more like my favorite dog, Benner, looking for food. But don't limit your thinking to a straight, narrow path, because it probably will disappoint you. In fact, if the path before you is clear, you're probably on someone else's path. It is said that Albert Einstein remarked that logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's attractions. I can look back on my journey and see many twists and turns, starting off in one direction and veering off in another, graduating from Suffield in 1958 full of myself, having no clue where I was headed except to the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Bumping around for a few years, getting married at 21, dropping out of college for 2 years, starting a family, finishing graduate and undergraduate work with a new sense of purpose, and returning to the place where we now sit. That was 54 years ago. I had no idea then I would stay for so many years. I must admit that there were times when I thought about trying something else. Students often ask me, how could you stay here so long, when they can't wait to get out and get on with their lives? I fully understand that. My usual answer to why I've stayed here so long is that you have to be somewhere, and hopefully it's somewhere you like. I realize that despite occasional thoughts of elsewhere, that I really liked it here. I often mention to students that as you get on with your lives, remember the best thing you can do is figure out what makes you happy and get paid for it. The liking comes from believing that you can and do or have a positive impact on the world in which you live. The key, I feel, is to feel that no matter how educated, talented, rich, or cool you believe you are, how you treat people ultimately says everything about you. As a group and as individuals, you have tremendous untapped energy. All one has to do is look back over the past year to see the tremendous potential for positive action that you possess. Put that energy to good use. As seniors, you are ready to move on. You have, in many ways, outgrown Suffield. You outgrow, but you don't forget. Einstein again remarked that life is like riding a bicycle. In order to keep your balance, you have to keep moving. To use the bicycle analogy, remember your first attempt at riding without training wheels, and how you wobbled around hoping you wouldn't run into the bushes or a trash can, waiting for an adult to steady you. Over the past few years, Suffield has been your training wheels. Soon you will be on your own. There is no straight path from where you sit now to where you are going. Don't ever try to draw that line, because you'll get it all wrong. Hindsight is always 20/20. I went to college planning to major in psychology, and I later switched to history. If I had to do it all over again, I would have majored in archaeology. If I had done that, my career at Suffield would have never happened. Also, I would have dedicated more of my life to advancing the rights of this country's native peoples. I wear this sash in honor of my connections with the Zuni Pueblo in New Mexico. So remember, your interests and passions will change. Wherever your path takes you, follow it with passion. Second-guessing yourself now doesn't make much sense. I do think that what I have done, I did with conviction and passion. Ellen DeGeneres offered a bit of sage advice when she said, follow your passion, stay true to yourself, never follow someone else's path unless you're in the woods and you're lost. And you see a path, and by all means follow it. I certainly hope you never get lost. But having spent time in the woods with many of you over the years in solo, I worry about some of you a little bit. You're going to be doing things that are scary, and that's perfectly normal. Going off to college in the fall will be both exhilarating and scary. Applying for your first job, realizing that you are an adult and all the responsibility that comes with it can be overwhelming and scary. Everyone is scared at one point or another. When that happens, do yourself a favor. Go back to your childhood days and think about your favorite place. Take a deep breath and tell yourself, I am stronger than I seem. I am braver than I believe and smarter than I think, and then forge ahead. Be bold, be courageous, and do your best. And remember, when you really pay attention to the world around you, everything is your teacher. The best teacher experience is not someone's distorted point of view. These words, written by Jack Kerouac in his book On the Road, ring particularly true in today's world of high-tech electronic communication. We live in a world where honest face-to-face communication is rare and experience is largely vicarious. I may sound a little old-fashioned, but there's more to life than trying to increase its speed. And life should not be like a speeding train where you look at what is real through a dirty pane of glass, tearing along towards some unknown future. Life is not like some interstate highway with limited exits and controlled access. There is so much more if you just look. The energy and hope that you bring to your journey is one of the wonderful things that has sustained me all these many years. The idea that you can make a difference may sound like a cliche, and maybe in some ways it is, but it is also the truth. The degree to which you impact the world or your world is up to you. North Carolina State basketball coach, the late Jim Valvano, offered this bit of advice. He said there are 86,400 seconds in a day, and it's up to you to decide what to do with them. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. I can think of so many students over the years who tried our patience and challenged us at every turn, who went on to be very successful doctors, authors, architects, artists, good parents, and just good people. I often receive letters or emails from students I had 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, just wanting to reconnect and let me know what they've done with their lives. I heard not too long ago from a student who was expelled from school in 1979. He had skied for me and wanted to thank me for supporting him almost 40 years ago. More than that, he wanted to let me know what he'd done with his life. He's now a lawyer in Denver, Colorado, specializing in environmental law, which is a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. More recently, an old student who just graduated college wrote to thank me for helping to establish the direction of her course of study, all stemming from philosophy courses we shared here at Suffield. That is really important to me because it reinforces something I feel very strongly about. That is your growth as decent thinking human beings, and that is why I teach. Another important quality is patience. When I mentioned this to my wife, that I was going to talk about patience, that would be one of my themes, she said, "Well, you're not patient." I said, "Sure, I can get antsy about certain things. Driving to Maine on Interstate 495 tests my patience, but that's not what I want to get at. Being patient with all of you as you work through the challenges of an increasingly complex and challenging world has been extremely important to me. And I am sure that my colleagues occasionally question my allegiance to students first, but isn't that the reason why we teach in the first place? To help shape the next generation in the most positive ways. If it isn't, it should be. Growing up is not easy, and I know that for many parents it's all too easy to lose patience with your children, but don't. Give them time to grow and get their feet on the ground. Never forget that you were a teenager once. I certainly did stupid things and was more than occasionally irresponsible. I also learned harsh but valuable lessons. I know that probably drove my parents nuts at times. I remember my father telling me when I was 28 years old, having taught for 3 years with a young family, that he was pleased and probably relieved that it finally turned out okay. Again, a nod to Einstein, who said, education is what remains after one has forgotten what one learned in school. When I look back at my time as a Suffield college student, what do I really remember? I remember experiences that form the foundation of my knowledge. That is what you will take away from Suffield as you move along your path. The challenges of AP U.S. History, AP Calc, English, and the dreaded 5-paragraph essay will slip away into the fog of distant memory. What you will remember is your roommate, athletic wins and losses, prom dates, Tiger games, best friends, maybe a few teachers, food in the dining hall. You might also remember things that you did that you shouldn't have done and maybe escape D.C. All those things at Suffield that may have helped make you who you are will soon be wrapped up in a black and orange box entitled My Experiences. You will draw from your box of experiences, however seemingly insignificant at the time, for the rest of your life. What do I remember from my days at Suffield? I remember 3 formal sit-down meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Church on Sunday, dances at various girls' schools where we were matched up with a date. Okay, I remember having a touchdown call back because I was downfield on a pass play. I remember my classmates. I don't remember much about the content of classes, but I do remember who my teachers were. Next fall is my 60th reunion. I'll come back and see old friends. Hopefully get a tour through the new building behind you. I've not been in there yet. Make sure the solo barn is in good shape and catch a few games. Today, this is the most beautiful place on earth. There are many such places. Every man, every woman carries in heart and mind the image of the ideal place, the right place, the one true home, known or unknown, actual or visionary. From your memory box, let that be Bell Hill in Suffield, Connecticut on the 25th of May, 2018. The Dalai Lama urges us all to follow 3 R's, not reading, writing, arithmetic, but as Mr. Cleary mentioned last night, and accused him of pilfering my talk, but respect, okay? Respect for self. Be kind to yourselves. Respect for others. Learn to listen, which means learning to value friendships, patience, fairness, and moral courage. Responsibility for all your actions. Do only those things that do not do harm, period. I would encourage you to spend time alone every day. While the idea of solitude may be painful when you are young, I can tell you it's a delight when you are older. Be gentle on the earth. Take care of it. It's the only home we have. We have real conversations. Give your iPhone a timeout. Do something cultural. Read, write, paint, throw clay, sing, go to an art museum. And spend more time on experience and less time on stuff. For the only true source of knowledge is experience. Drive across the country and get off the interstate. When I look back over my journey as a teacher, my hope is that I have been kind to my students, that I have been compassionate, that I have been empathetic, I've been positive, I've been a builder making to look things better, and possibly an inspiration. As I look ahead, there are several things I'm interested in pursuing, and if I do, it'll be with enthusiasm. I'm exploring right now the possibility of teaching a few classes to inmates in the Maine State Penitentiary system. Most recently, I donated my rather extensive library of Native American writings to the Zuni Pueblo Reservation High School in New Mexico. Most likely, I'll continue giving talks at the Farnsworth Art Museum in Rockland, Maine. And I also want to develop a relationship with a crow. As odd as that may seem, it reinforces my belief of the connectedness of all things, and we can learn a great deal from our feathered and four-legged friends. And finally, beyond life on the coast of Maine, hopefully catch a striped bass and watch the bald eagles soar over the spruce trees. Last fall at Convocation, I read a favorite quote of mine from author, rabble-rouser, and radical transcendentalist Edward Abbey. Let me leave you with this and then one other thing from Cactus Ed. May your trails be crooked, winding, lonesome, dangerous, leading to the most amazing view. May your mountains rise into and above the clouds. And finally, a word of advice from one of America's great writers, Maya Angelou. Life's a bitch. You got to go out there and kick ass. Thank you and congratulations. Have a glorious journey and stay in touch.
Thank you, Rocky. Will you please now stand and join us in singing Suffield's alma mater? We come finally to the awarding of the Suffield Diplomas. I will call on Chelsea Kane and Amy Samonuk, advisors to the class of 2018, to present the candidates.
Connor Murphy Aarons. Petch Arporn Patanapong. Isabella Lauren Atanis. Wesley James Bartlett. Maximilian Barnett Bass. Hattie Rose Baquero. Kian Neil Bolio. Sedley Amelia Bennett. Davina Ann Bala. Jackson Smith Bishoping. Benedetto Joseph Bonavita. Isabella Katerina Boonstra. Andrea Sophia Breck. Michael William Birch. Peyton Rockwell Can. Mateo Calderon. Bridget Nicole Carey. Timothy Russell Casey. Junyang Chen. Patrick David Cortez. Norman Alexander Cotelier II. Sam Richard Kuda. Andrew Cole Daly. Anton Davidenko. Alexander P. Derby. Audrey Elaine Dufresne. Margaret Elizabeth Durhager. Yegor Vladislavovich Fomin. Ramona Grace Fontaine. Miles Ryan Freeman. Julian Christopher George. Millen Ghosh. Brianna Caitlin Gibbs. Caroline Carver Gingold. Jack Nicholas Godfrey. Maya Alexi Grant. Ava Bennett Hafner. Patrick McCartney Harding. Omar Hashv. Erin Marie Hayes. Leonard Anton Sylvester Herman. Kaylee Rose Horrigan. Bailey Marie Highland. Alessandra Maloles Ayeda. Sean Ariel Johnson. Susanna Ivans Johnson. Yevgeny Kagan. Maria Kalachova. Braden Gerard Kane. McLean Scott Keating. Catherine Margaret Kelly. Aiden Michael Kennedy. Zachary Allen Kidd. John Tucker Killam. Minsa Michelle Kim. Kwang Yeon Kim. Owen Joseph Kinney. Rangrawi Kitichoku. Jovana Kovac. Walter Carl Kress III. Kevin Patrick Kosmeski. Robert Levine IV. Justin David Levsky. Devin Michael Loftus. Robert William Long. Spencer David Macchia. Yataro Makihara. Milo Marcus. Jacob Sebastian Marin Thompson. Niamani Marie Marshall. Matthew Francis McCoy. Amber Hope McKenzie. Brian James McLennan. Cecile Paula Gabriella Meyer Sherling. Reginald Moon Jr. James Robert Mignon. Dana Nicole Mills. Maxwell Joseph Miranda. Alexandra Marie Minch. Carlin Catherine Molander. Charles Edward Moran IV. Matthew Stephen Morito. Colin Andrew Perro. Rishi Dinesh Patel. Jenna Noel Polidoro. John Richard Pumfret. Juhi Rayonia. Michael Allen Robidoux. Jaden Anthony Robinson. Alexandra Kate Rookie. Alina Kathleen Ryan. Leticia Sadalina. Aiden Constantine Sagar. Carlos Jeffrey Salguero. Jack Alexander George Samanuk. Aubrey Ryan Sanford. Ariana Jade Saxton. Leon Schmid. Jacob Miles Selbst. India Grace Shea. Maximilian David Schlafstein. Elias Coleman Smith. Michael Patrick Stern. Sarah Ann Swanson. Benjamin Forrest Sylvester IV. Rory Burton Teddimer. Peter Lawrence Thrall. Matthew Ryan Titterton. Michael Douglas Trevelyan. Tori Hargraves Spear Tryon. Jennifer Elise Ungerleider. Nicholas Spiro Vardakis. Maria Claire White. Max Aaron Wiener. Jia Shui. Xinhua Yen. Joseph Edmund Eunice, Jr. Brock Armstrong Damian Zenker. Nan Jung.
Congratulations to you all. I would like to now introduce Elias Smith, who will address you on behalf of the graduating class. Elias is a four-year senior from Cape Elizabeth, Maine. He's an insightful thinker and writer. Please come on up, Elias.
Hello. All right, let me find the microphone a little bit. Okay. I'd like to start with a congratulations to all of us on graduating today. I really like the sound of that. I wasn't sure if I was going to hear it. I would like to start by saying how immensely terrifying it is to see everyone today. But beyond that, it really is an honor to be able to speak in front of all you parents that have helped, and my classmates that asked me to come up here. It meant a lot to me. I came to Suffield as scrap metal. Not easily bent. I had some sharp edges and a lot of dull ones. There was potential, but it was misshapen, dusty, discolored, and undiscovered. As this day drew near, I took the time to reach my mind back to see those awkward scraps that we arrived as, and from there, feel my way back to where we stand today as graduates. I retraced this process in search of any new conclusions. However, the same word in its various meanings concluded every journey. That word is forged. To produce a copy or an imitation, to shape metal by force and by heat, to create something entirely unique. I arrived on the Suffield Academy campus in imitation, a forged piece of work. I wore a facade that fit so easily, I forgot it was not my own face. Influenced greatly by How to Be Cool in Middle School and how tough and sexy Christian Bale is as Bruce Wayne in The Dark Knight, I figured I'd just wear a bunch of dark clothes and seem not to care about a bunch of stuff, and that'd work out great. Unfortunately, or fortunately, Suffield was having none of this great plan that I had devised. They immediately warmed up the furnace, took out their hammer and their carving tools, and began relentlessly chipping away at my stubborn facade, molding out from underneath something new and potentially beautiful. This place, Suffield, it can really swing a hammer. My first few months on campus, I spent most of my days being consistently reminded of this fact. At 15 years old, I was enthralled by leaving home and the opportunity to explore the freedoms the world had to offer my eager heart. These freedoms, I soon learned, did not include exploring new lands like Lewis and Clark, nor did they include Phineas's fabled carnival from A Separate Peace, as I had fantasized that they may. Although what they did include was the opportunity to be sat down at my desk for silent study hall, without my phone, whilst being denied use of the lavatory from 8 to 10, 6 nights a week. I rebelled heavily. More opposing pressure ensued. I was introduced to Saturday detention, a lovely event held from 7 to 11 on Saturday night, where again, once phone is handed in, the Wi-Fi is turned off, bathroom use has a thin quota, and water is scarce. Thus, I decided to explore my freedoms elsewhere and skip detention one evening. Promptly, I was confronted by the proverbial hammer and introduced to restriction. I kept making my way up the ladder. My weeks now consisted of the aforementioned nightly study halls and Saturday detention, coupled with an invitation to clean the union on 9 a.m. Sunday morning, our one day to sleep in. Additionally, I was advised to check in with the person on duty every 30 minutes in the union for the rest of the day until study hall. Alas, I had quickly acquainted myself with the forging hammer of the academy. Of course, not all of our graduating class today subjected themselves to the formal mallets of detention and restriction. Luckily for the well-being of the school, many graduating today wisely chose a path without hammers, or at least lesser ones, and enjoyed the smooth guiding force of a sculptor's hand. Yet regardless of the paths we each chose, the ubiquitous pressure of living on a campus with less than 550 students and teachers combined makes a daily impression and prompts shifts in our composition. If you take a piece of scrap metal and do nothing but pound on it repeatedly, either no change in shape will be seen, or the brittle metal will shatter. There is another variable that must be present in the forging process. That is warmth. Suffield Academy is full of warmth. The first warmth I felt came from my advisory, where I was embraced by confident, caring, kidding, and kind people, despite my immaturity. I met my best friend and had a faculty member I could rely on, and slowly, they helped me start to absorb the blows dealt by the hammer and use them to create my own inherent, but not yet uncovered form. Warmth permeates everything at Suffield. It manifests itself in reassuring smiles and encouragement to explore new ideas. It lingers with the completion of our countless daily accomplishments. I think that every one of us graduating today has felt that warmth on their body, whether it be with friends or teachers, alone studying, running, competing, in a club or a production. We have felt that warming feeling setting fire to our nerves and filling us with life. Those feelings, they melt down the person that you thought you were, and they settle into defining the person that you want to be. Looking back on the jagged piece I was when I arrived at Suffield, it is impossible to discern exactly who I was and what I valued. It is also impossible to know who I would be had I not come here. Regardless of my original intent, having lived here for 4 years on this campus and felt extraordinary warmth and constant forming pressure, I must admit, Suffield is synonymous with the me that I know now. We have been warmed by its people and its rewards. We have been struck at times by its challenges and relentlessness. We have been bent, flattened, carved, and molded into something steady, something stable, something smart, and something special. Through the structure and artistry of Suffield Academy, we have uncovered our innate sense of who we are as individuals, capable of all freedoms. Today is a day to reflect on this process and embrace the commencement as our lives as adaptable, thoughtful, and capable members of society. Suffield has revealed a new us, and it can be frightening to know that it is time to leave the familiar blacksmith shop and search for a home that will display all of our intricate details. Where will I place myself? How will I be useful? Will I situate myself within these new places so that my newfound form and garnered skills are best appreciated and most fulfilled? It's unknown. It's exciting and it's frightening. For a lot of it will be determined by the beautiful shapes we have taken here, and yet much of it may also be determined by how we are going to be utilized after leaving the shop. Our new worlds will have never seen this process we endured. They will only be able to appreciate the product we present in front of them, a product we should all feel proud of, undoubtedly. Regardless of what is to come and what new shapes we may take, these people here today at Suffield will always understand me, no matter where we find ourselves in the future. Because the people here, they watched us morph into thoughtful beings. They saw what stroke, what pressure, and what polish created our unique curves, our shiniest points, and our authentic imperfections. They provided the force and the warmth that built the foundation for all of these changes. The relationships we have built here will be a part of us forever because they helped create the product that we are now ready to present to the world. And when we feel that we are a little lost and a little misplaced, I will not be surprised, and I'll know I have this place and these people who have helped me form many of my most unique and important characteristics, the things that I value daily. Thus, I encourage you all, and myself, to leave today proud, excited, grateful, and comforted that we are not leaving those parts of Suffield that are most dear to us, but that they are embedded within us. We are, in fact, forged by them. Thank you.
Thank you, Elias. Wonderful job. Now, as we close our commencement, let me share a few brief final remarks with members of our class of 2018. First, I want to reiterate we are proud of you and have high expectations of you as you move on. You have really done beautifully here, showing dedication to each other and to Suffield and compassion as people. As you head off to the next parts of your life journeys, try to remember a few ideas we have sought to instill in you. First, as you know, I feel a vital way to evaluate your life is by the distance you travel, as students and as people. Hard work matters. I think you'll find your destiny will be more a function of effort than intellect. Second, be yourselves and be proud of who you are. As Mark Lewis writes, the person you are with most in life is yourself. And if you don't like yourself, you're always with someone you don't like. Third, remember to love. Love is good. Try to always show your love to your friends, your parents, and your siblings. And finally, what am I going to mention to you? You know I feel very strongly about this, and always keep in mind the immense importance of goodwill. 3 things in life are important, Henry James noted. The first is to be kind, the second is to be kind, and the third is to be kind. As we close this event, let me remind everyone we have lunch prepared by the Tremaine Art Terraces over there. And in a moment, our seniors will have a chance to ring this Suffield bell as our new graduates. In closing, I will again quote Robert Frost, who wrote, "Home is the place where, when you have to go there, they have to take you in." Suffield extends this offer to you, and we hope you will return often, like the many alums who have come to watch you graduate today. Members of the class of 2018, we salute you and we wish you well. Congratulations, and the bell is now available.
I already have like 6 in my basket.
You can take 3 more. 3 more dicks won't hurt you. Want this camera? Leave it here. No, this one's been through the wash at Toy Store. Yeah. Yeah, it's just different years. I know, but like, what do you think else the full project? Well, have fun. I'm not going to. that main output of music. But what are you kidding? I mean, it's almost hard to believe.
Well, at least it didn't affect the recording.
We're pulling all your stuff out of there.
Yeah, we gotta get the mic off and the cables that are on the podium. Yeah. Yeah. Remember on the first floor, we stole it from our tech lab. You in there, Mark?
sometimes helpful to read it like up and down.
I don't know where the heck everybody is. I don't know where they all are.
Oh, you want to bring it here? Yeah, bring everything. Tripod, charger, everything. Yeah.